we're here again. It's Atlanta Discuss. Yeah, every Friday we come to you with something that reverberates with mankind that makes a lot of sense. We're solution providers. There's no holds bare. Africa, the continent of the black people, yes. And everybody keeps saying the future of the world is in Africa. Why is it so hard for Africa to harness these qualities? Now we're going to Congo Democratic Republic, formerly known as Zaire. Some will say Congo Kinshasa. Two Congos we have. There's Brazzaville, there's Kinshasa. But today we're in Congo DR, capital Kinshasa. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Patrice Lumumba. Yes, Patrice Emery Lumumba, who was murdered by the colonialists. And since that time, Belgium has never known peace. From Lumumba to Kasavubu to Mobutu to Kabila 1, Kabila 2, now Tshisekedi. Congo DR, a country I'm sure has almost all minerals known to man, has never known peace since independence. Today we are talking to my friend Tathy Yorka Mpela, who is in London. Tathy, welcome to Atlanta Discuss.
Thank you, Adi. I'm very delighted and a great honor for you to have me this evening. I'm very delighted. Again, before I can start, I would like first of all to say many thank you to you. Also, many thank you to Ajay, because she's the one of Nigerian consular here in the UK, and she's a very Nigerian strong woman, and we're very close. We work together in some sector. So because of her compassion, she see what's going on in Congo, and she asked me, Tathy, we needed to bring awareness into the world. The world need to know, and we need solution. That's why she put me in touch with you, and I was delighted. I was looking forward for this evening, and I'm also as African citizen, as African man, as we know, we have a duty to speak. I'm a world peace ambassador. My job is to bring peace. And I'm here to respond to any question you looking forward to debate or to speak this evening or tonight.
Thank you, Tathy. Normally when I have guests like that, I always want to introduce them, but I love it. Your intro was fantastic.
Thank you.
You have introduced yourself. Like you said, is Tathy Mpela is a World Youth Ambassador. He's a World Peace Committee Ambassador. He's a Goodwill Ambassador. He's well recognized by the United Nations. I checked his profile, and he speaks for Africans regularly in New York and London, and sometimes in Switzerland. And I know he was in Brussels recently. So he's a man of the world. So Tathy, I mean, my first question to you really is this. From independence till today, to the best of my knowledge, Congo Democratic Republic, has never known peace. Zaire, your home country. Why is that so? What's really happening? Why has there never been peace in your country? What's happening? Tell us. Give us a background of how it all started, pre, post-independence. I mean, to the best of your knowledge. People really want to know,
Ade, thank you so much for this question. And this question is very key for what's going on in Congo today. I can say the sin we have in Congo is because the wealth we have in Congo. Because if Congo was a poor country, I don't believe we could face what we're facing today, the challenge we're facing today in Congo. You have read, because if I go for the history of Congo and what's going on in Congo since all these places that you have listed now, we're gonna be days, weeks, months, and years until today. But briefly, the issue of Congo is because of the wealth we have, and that's it. There's not anything else I can say, or because of political system, because of no. Even since the Belgium was in Congo, they was there because of business. And the issue we have in Congo is business. And that's why we are facing challenge we're having today.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think Congo is too big to be one country?
No, I don't think Congo is too big to be a one country. If we ask you, United States is a big to be a one country. United Kingdom, where I am, is a big to be a one country. It's not. Congo
You know,
is okay the way it is.
but United Kingdom has
Yeah.
Northern Ireland, he has Wales, he has
Yes.
Scotland, you know, all federated units under, you understand, they all have they control their resources to a large extent. In the United States, California, one state is by sixth, seven largest economy in the world. They are all independent. It's not like that in Congo and Nigeria. Do you
Yeah,
understand? Yeah.
exactly. Let me go to Nigeria. If they ask this question, can they say Nigeria is a big country to be alone? It's the
Yeah,
same
but
question.
there are people in Nigeria that think so right now that maybe the northern part should not be part with the south, or that the way they got the independence was Nigeria is not a well-structured country. More so, when you look at the oil-producing area, they feel neglected. So if you say, for example, the problem of Congo is mineral resources, is the wealth.
Yes.
Maybe Oriental should be one country, maybe Katanga should be one country. You know what I'm trying to say? Because from Kisangani to to Kinshasa, it's a long drive. It's longer than the whole length of Nigeria
Yep.
combined.
But the thing is, I don't think that is the cause of because the Congo is vast or Congo is big.
Okay.
It depends the way the country have each instruction, the way they lead
Creation.
the country. Okay. The territory we don't have any problem because of the Congo is big. But the
Okay.
problem we have is because of the mineral we have, the wealthy we have. Okay, so even the reason the people bring in now because the Congo is vaster, Congo is big, maybe might need to be split. No, that is not the reason. In Congo, since we got our independence, we have been united. We never have any problem or issue of division or because of the country is large. But we know because of what we have in the Congo, this is bring people, each person coming with the reason to say, oh, all this is the reason people try to create. And we know them. It's not about the Congo is big. That is not the truth.
Okay, what is the problem? Congolese or foreigners?
Of course, the problem is the foreigners. It's not the Congolese. The Congolese were united. Since, as you know, tell me any leader from Congo who you have seen in the social media or even national, international, or regional, he came to the TV to say, you know, I'm a leader, I'm from Congo, I wanted this country to be split. Never,
No,
we never had it.
no, nobody does. I mean, the person in power won't say that. You
Uh,
understand? Yeah,
even
but
the citizen, no one having, we never have an issue for the Congo to be split. We never have an issue for Congo to be divided. We don't
yeah,
have it.
but Congo has also not been blessed with good leaders. You understand? Emery Lumumba, Patrice was not there for a long time, so I might not judge him. But look at Mobutu. Mobutu stole Zaire dry. It's common knowledge. You know, Kabila to, you know, nothing productive. Kabila too, I can't really judge, you know, too much about him, you know. But Tshisekedi maybe is trying a little bit, but Congo has not survived their poor leadership. It's part of the problem because I know Africa generally, there's failure of leadership. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. That's why you just touched the good point. You just touched the key point of the African leader. It's not only about Congo. You know very well, you are a journalist, and you see how the way African leader they lucky to get to stick with the power. How do they get power from? Which way they get into the power? That is not only issue for Congo, it's entire Africa. We see the population, they might choose this, but they don't listen to the population. They like to go behind the scene, asking power from from these people who you know very well, for them to support them, to give them money. They will come. It's like you buying power. But when you buying something from someone and then you have the contract, you have something you're gonna sign to give back. And that's why the issue we have entirely in the Congo. Apart from even Patrice Lumumba, you see what happened when Patrice Lumumba stand to defend the population, and you know what happened to Patrice Lumumba and why. This is a big question, and I know you know the answer because you are African man. And if you go to, exactly, and if you go to Mobutu, Sese Seko, Mobutu, he came there, you see who bring Mobutu to the power, and you know who Mobutu was working to, and everything we know. In African, the real African men, they know how our leader from Africa, the way they have a power. Into they had to change that mentality. They had to go back into the way the Western or USA where you are, the way they do the election by going to the correct way, to the correct direction, then all this mistake it will disappear. It will be peaceful.
Let me ask you a quick question. Yeah.
Yes.
This one. Do you think Paul Kagame is a good leader?
This, this question you ask if President Kagame, Paul Kagame is a good leader. Me as Congolese, if you ask me, I can answer the concept maybe in two different answers. As African, I will look, because I'm not from Rwanda, but the Rwanda citizen, they can answer this question. But if you ask me as Congolese, I will say to you, no. And there's a lot of concept I can go further to explain myself, to say why he's not good leader, because a leader had to be example. When we say, we list all the name of our president, the leader in Africa, they're not just leading the country, they also example for country, community, continent, and the world. You're not president just for your country. No, you are president representing your country, you're presenting the continent, and you're presenting the world. I can end there for the next question.
Very good. So in recent days, a lot has been said about Rwanda conflict in the Congo, which is why we're having this interview, crisis in the Congo. Like I said in my intro, Congo has always been in crisis. But so what's the assessment of the current situation in the eastern part of Congo DR right now? What really is happening? In the border, Goma, and all that. What's really happening? M23, as they call it. What really is the situation? What's the role of SADC? What's the role of the East African and Great Lakes country? What is the current situation of things, and how did it get to where it is today?
Thank you, Adi, for this question. This is where the reason I'm here to speak to you, because we need each other.
Okay.
We need every African to stand. It's not just to stand for Congolese people. It's not just for DRC Congo, but we need to stand for our regional, for our continent, for Africa. That's why we need to stand. In the east of Congo, almost 30 years now, we have no peace because of east of Congo. They have too many minerals of strategy over there. But today, as we stand, the east of Congo is on the hand of President Kagame, Rwanda. The troops of Rwanda are right now in east of Congo. So I did put one of the video on my page to see what the President Kagame, he said why the reason Rwanda is there. Do you think, go back to the question you asked me, if you ask me if President Kagame is a good president, if he's really a good president, why he had to be his army, why he had to invade Congo, east of Congo? Why today, as I'm talking to you, more than 2 million of Congolese people have died because of this? Why we had to sacrifice as your neighbor, the way Rwanda and the Congo we are? Why we had to reach into this level? The situation is very vast, it's very bad at the moment, because the Rwanda have decided to fight to make a war to the Congo, which the Congolese government, they have avoiding this for many, many, many years. We have been trying to find a way where we can come to dialogue, to sit down. Even you ask a SADC, they have done a big job to contact President Kagame, to contact Rwanda. I know you have been seeing many meetings has been go left and right. United Nations has get involved. Everything have it done. And President Kagame's decision is to take east of Congo. That's why right now, as I'm talking to you today, the Rwanda are in Congo. Army for Rwanda is in Congo.
Let me ask you this. Is it the Rwandan army that is in Eastern Congo or the M23?
But M23 is Rwanda.
Yeah, but historically, there are Tutsi
Okay.
that are from Rwanda, that are from Congo. You understand? Am I correct to say that? I know there are a lot of Tutsi is a minority group in Rwanda, but there are also Tutsi in Congo DR. Just like
Yeah.
just like in Togo and Ghana, you have Ewe people in Togo, Ewe in Ghana. Like you have Yorubas in Benin Republic and Nigeria. So you have Tutsi in Rwanda and also in Congo DR. So it's logical for some reason that the Tutsi in Rwanda want to support their brothers in Congo
You
Democratic Republic.
Ade, you have to know in Congo we don't have any ethnicity called Tutsi.
Oh,
Or
really?
Banyamulenge. No, there was not exist.
I was going to ask about Banyamulenge. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We didn't have didn't it was not exist.
Hmm.
These people came when the Rwanda have issue of genocide. And everything is documented. If you go to United Nations, they have, because the Rwanda's refugee, they came in Congo. We never had any problem to go, our people to flee our country to go to ask asylum in Rwanda. No. Though we welcome Rwanda as our brothers and sisters because they have a big issue in their country. That's why we welcome them in the Congo. But there's one problem here. In the UK, I'm very sorry I had to tell this person because I'm on the phone. I don't want to answer the phone now.
No
In
problem.
in the UK, when you come to UK, we have a people, we call them the British citizen. And then we have the people, we call them English. You know the difference between English and the British. The British people is people who come to UK with a different way, maybe asylum seekers, and then they give them stay. Because you have to live in the UK, you have to work, you have to make money. So we had to give you, for example, indefinite leave to remain, or we had to give you maybe 5 years, then you have to renew to stay. Then after that, you had to apply to become a citizen. Once the government of UK have accepted your application, they will call you for you to hand you a certificate of citizen. That's where you have to apply for your passport called a British citizen. But that is not make you to be English. You can live there for thousands of years. You will still British. And on your passport, they even go ahead, they will say to you, original from, but British. Original from Congo, original from Ghana, original from Nigeria, but black British. But you're not English. It doesn't matter if you come in the UK, you have the people in the UK, you can ask them.
So how does that affect the Banyamulenge and the Tutsi in Congo DR?
Yes,
because
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming. I'm just mentioning something.
Please go ahead.
There's a lot here in UK, especially London. There's an area where you go, they call Chinatown. This Chinatown, if you go there, you might think maybe you need in China, or because so many Chinese people live there. They got business, they live there, they speak their language. But that place, the Chinatown, they know the Chinese people, they're not gonna call it that. It's a part of China. So this is a problem. I'm going back now in Congo. These people will welcome them. When United Nations bring this refugee in the Congo, they put them in what's called in east of Congo. They all came in east of Congo because that was close into Rwanda. That's why everyone, all the refugees, they was putting them there in east of Congo. But because in the Congo, we don't have a system of the way British is. You have English and the British. We just have one Congolese. You can be a citizen. They can give you apply for Congolese citizen. When they give you your stay, everything, automatically you become a Congolese. But we use only one word. But in the UK, they have it too. They have British and they have English. I don't know in Nigeria, maybe you might have a one or two. In Congo, you can be asylum. If they have accept your asylum, they give you your stay, your name is still Congolese, but on the paper, they know you are asylum. But these people, Huti, those Nyamurenge, they have been in Congo for a long time. President Kagame himself, he just say, I will recommend you go on my Facebook. I have put that interview. He was done the last week or week before. President Kagame himself is saying, this group of people, some of them, they might be original from Rwanda. Some maybe they might be from Congo. There was there in East since before he born. Everything is there. Check on that. Go watch that video. He explained everything clearly, simple. So my question is that himself, he divided. He said from the M23, some people they might be from original from Rwanda, but some might be from. So can he take those who from Rwanda to show us, okay, this is from Rwanda, this is from Congo, because he know that. But we as Congolese, we believe M23 is from Rwanda and is army from Rwanda.
Yeah, so but why are they fighting? That's the issue now. Why is there a crisis there? Yeah,
Yeah,
you said it's because of the mineral. So why are the Tutsi who came to Congo for obvious reasons earlier on? Why are they fighting? What's the basis of the current fight and the crisis today?
they're
Why are they
fighting.
fighting?
Exactly, they're fighting. Why? Because they want to claim that part of East to belong to them.
To
That's
Rwanda.
what for Rwanda. That's the Rwanda they want to claim it that East for Congo to belong to them. Because the President Kagame mentioned something, he's saying that these people they were there even before Congo. But come on, how someone be there before Congo and you call him Congo? And if you listen to President Kagame, the school speech or conference, he always keeps saying that when he do his introduction, the conflict in the east of Congo. Why he's not saying the conflict in east of Rwanda? So he acknowledged that the east is belong to Congo. He know and he belonged. He know and he knowledge to the world every time. Every conference he's saying, he keeps saying that this conflict from east of Congo. So he himself, he know that the east of Congo is belong to Congo. It's not belong to Rwanda, because if it was for Rwanda, on his speech, on his conference, he could even mention the east of Rwanda, the east of Rwanda. But he never ever saying that, because he knowledge and he know and the world know and all Africa knows that the east is belong to Congo. But he want to claim that by those people who behind him.
Are you also aware that President Kagame too lived in that eastern part of the Congo, the Goma, Kivu area? You know, while they were in RPF, you know, they were all based there. It was from Goma that the RPF launched the attack, you know, against the Hutu-led government after Abiyarimana was assassinated. So Kagame, for all intents and purposes, lived there. You understand? He knows the terrain. And
but Adi,
yes,
we have enough. We have Congolese people, Congolese government. They have no problem for anyone to live in Congo. Okay, you just say something now. Kagame himself used to live in that area. In which way? Which way Kagame found himself in the east? He was because he belonged to Congolese, or he was running away from what the world was doing. You have
No,
to ask the question.
but you are, yeah, I mean, you said you gave an example,
Yeah,
English and
yeah,
British. You
yes,
understand? Maybe
yeah.
those guys from Rwanda are the Congolese, but like they're the British citizens now and the indigenous people. Because really, in all fairness to them, I mean, I'm not taking sides, but you
No,
know that these guys helped to bring Kabila to power, to remove Mobutu. You know, there was a precedent there because Mobutu himself was not supporting them, but the Tutsi were working well with Kabila towards the end, and they actually marched into all the way to Kisangani, Lubumbashi, and subsequently Kinshasa to overthrow Mobutu before Kabila now sent some of them away. But the bulk of Kabila's army were this M23, Bayamulenge, Tutsi people. So you cannot not you can't use them to fight and discard them and say go. You
no,
understand?
no, 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 no.
Mm,
You know, Adi, maybe this
mm.
is the history
Mm.
these people are showing to the world.
Oh, God.
The
Okay, tell me,
Congolese
what's the true
people
history?
have not asked these people to leave.
Okay?
Even if you see the president Felix, our new existing president,
Yeah, Shishakadi?
Kisekedi,
Mm.
Felix Tshisekedi, he keeps saying that these people are our sister brothers, are Congolese. Why he called them Congolese? Because they have been in Congo for a long time. They have claimed the citizen. They became citizen, Congolese citizen by registration. Okay, like me now, like your sister, like we know some African people who live in the United Kingdom. They have lived in the United Kingdom for a long time. They became British citizen. So they have played a big role. We work, we pay the tax, we pay import, everything. Okay, so we have a right now. We vote. We have a right to vote. We have a right to do this. But Congolese have not asking them to leave the Congo. But what we don't want is this for them to claim the territory of this territory became belong to them. No, you can't become as a citizen, as a refugee, to claim someone to take the someone land. No, they can live there how many years they can. No one will say anything to them. But they have to acknowledge that I'm here, I'm African, I'm in the UK. It doesn't matter how many years I'm gonna live in this country. I work here, I have kids here. But I
Mm.
will never stand one day to say, okay, because I have been living in North London for 50 years, this area became my one. Now we can do everything we want. No.
Why not? Kemi Badenoch, a Nigerian, she's the leader
Y-
of the Conservative Party. If they win the election tomorrow, she's going to be prime minister. Richie
Yes.
Sunak, even though I'm not sure whether I was born in UK or not, but it's clearly of Indian or origin, you know, and he became prime
Yes.
minister. So,
Yes.
so are you saying that, I mean, based on your argument, that somebody from that region cannot lay claim? You can lay claim to land in the UK, especially
No.
if you buy it, if you purchase a land, it's yours.
No. You know the UK, when
Mm.
you buy a house, but they'll say to you, you buy a house, but you
Mhm.
not buy the
The
ground,
land, okay,
the
that's
land.
British. Okay,
I know
that's
you know that. That's the
yeah.
British. You
Mhm.
can buy how many houses you have, but
Mhm.
you're not buying the land.
The land, okay.
Why? Because the land is belong to them. But you buy your house, you got your money, you buy.
Mm.
This is Congolese. Congolese, you don't tell them not to buy house, not to be a minister. You know, we have too many Yamurenge or this, they work in Congo. Congo is their country. They live
Okay,
there.
so what's the way forward now? Because as we speak today, M23 supported by Rwanda, it's not hidden again. They are occupying is it North Kivu? What's the name of that region?
yeah,
Not the
Goma.
Goma, yeah. They are
Yes,
occupying the largest chunk there. They look
yes.
organized, they look well trained, they look well lubricated. They even arrested about 2,000 or 200 mercenaries from Romania and they've sent them packing and they are not ready to leave. So what's the way out now? What they're doing
No,
really?
they were at, that's why we're calling. We're
Mm.
speaking with, we're asking the community international, which we believe some of them, they are behind the supplying, and we know if we go back logically, we can see Rwanda, we know where those people who supporting them. And even President Kagame himself on his speech, He stated clearly, he mentioned about the world power leaders. He mentioned about those European Union. He mentioned a lot of things on his speech, which we understand that there's a lot of people behind, there's a lot of country behind who's supporting, who's giving President Kagame the gun, the money to come to defeat Congo. But to move it forward, we ask President Kagame to take his troops out of our territory. Because
if he doesn't,
well, if he doesn't, since this war has started, Congolese government has been very cooperative, open hand to negotiate, to sit down, because we are African. We have to protect our African. ID, this question, I want you to look in the Big Apple. We just came from a huge crisis of COVID-19. And look the way European, USA, where you are, the world trying to China, they trying to build up their continent, their country from recession. And we in Africa, instead of faking, working together, sing together, to lift up our Africa, to lift up, to move to fight against poverty. But why we had to face war in the 21st century? President Tshisekedi, when he came to the power, he went to visit all the country in Africa continent. He went to them one by one with the project. We want you to do this. We want to work it so we can make our region to be good. South Africa president, Burundi president. Have you listened to what they said? So these are the people who was with President Kagame when everything started. Why they had to ask him now to move his troop? UN, United Nations, peacekeeping has been in Congo for ages. There was no solution. If Congo, there was doing something wrong, the world is going to say, no, 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 no. But today, everyone standing on behalf of Congo to ask President Kagame to leave, to move his troops to go back in Rwanda. If they go back there, we need to sit down. We not block a system. We want to sit down. We want to negotiate. We want to sit down and ask them, what can we do together? It's not by fighting that we're going to bring a solution for the region, for the continent.
Okay. I mean, your point is well made. The land belongs to Congo Democratic Republic. There should be no foreign occupation on Congolese land. And Kagame should hands off and move his troop out. Fantastic point. Now, I said something earlier on. When Mobutu was being overthrown, there was help from Bayamulenge, Tutsi, who are the people that make up the M23 today. They first took, I think they took Kisangani, then they took Lubumbashi, then they got to Kinshasa. By that time, Mobutu has fled, I think maybe to Morocco or wherever then. So now these guys, I've seen on TV, men from M23, leaders of M23 saying, no, they are not done in Goma. They are not going to just stay in Kivu. They are coming all the way to Kinshasa. I mean, I know it's provocative, but what do you have to say to that? They seem confident. They've done it before, and they think they can do it again. And
okay, can I tell you one thing?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, if you mentioned the President Mobutu, we all know what President Mobutu does. He did. And the President Mobutu want to remain in power for a long, long time. It's exactly the same thing happened in Congo Brazzaville. President Sassou. He stayed there for many, and this is why the reason when the AFDL came, so because the population was tired of Mobutu regime. Because in the Mobutu regime, there was no opposition, and okay? So it was like you live in open prison. So if a country such go like this, of course the population, they're gonna look for who can come help them. But it was not for the population to go to ask Laurent Desire Kabila to bring the Rwanda to, because that was a negotiation. That was the way the planification that was done. But right now, the president we have, Joseph Kabila, he was working with the Rwanda. He gave power to there was election, and the president Tshisekedi won. Now he's in power. President Tshisekedi, he's not a dictator. This is his second term, and he has mentioned this clearly. on every speech that when his second term is finished, he's going to organize the election. Then the winner, he will take over from from him. Why we want to do this? Because we wanted to bring democracy and peace in Congo. So why these people, they can't leave us alone? Because when you say they help, at moment, tell me which leader who's maintaining in the power by force in Congo. There's none. If President Tshisekedi, he was there maybe up to 3, 4 terms, 5 terms, then it could be understandable. But at the moment, Tshisekedi is on his second and the last term. So why can't we they give him a chance to say, okay, because they claim the Congolese, instead of go by war, let's sit down. This is also one of the proposition the president of Burundi he gives to M23. He said, you guys, you claim you are Congolese. Okay, why can't you leave fighting, drop your gun, sit down on the table and let's discuss? They didn't want that. Everything, this process of the question you're asking, it has gone through, if from United Nations, European, African Union, so that everything, all the process here is gone. But because for them, they have their agenda behind. So for them, this is not what they're looking for. So we, as you said, they decide, they say they come to Kinshasa. I'm telling you, they're not going to get into Kinshasa. And that's why we asking to go on this media, international community. We give them the warning because we're not going to let this go. Goma, okay, let's sit down, let's end there. But if they continue doing, the government, they're not going to let go because at the moment, we don't see any point M23 or Kagame is going to stand to say, oh, I want to go to fight Tshisekedi because Tshisekedi is not a dictator. It's not. Tshisekedi is cooperating with every president. All the region is begging them. You know, today people keep calling Congo, they say, well, the Congolese people, they're naive. The Congolese people, they're not strong enough. Why you have to leave people? You have to leave Rwanda to come. But because we're looking for peace, we don't want to make any disaster for our people. That's what the government, at the moment, we are defending. We have not attacked yet. We are defending. But it will be a time, if there's no solution, we're not going to let go. We have to attack as well. And then it's going to be a problem. So that's why everyone, you need to do something to ask President Kagame to look behind, to see, for the sake of his country, his population, for the sake of the African people, African continent, for the sake of DRC people, we need peace. We want him to pull up his troop. We have to sit down and talk, bring the peace.
Interesting. So let's talk about support now, because I'm talking about within Africa now. It looks like Tshisekedi has the support of SADC, right? The South Africa, Zimbabwe, and possibly even Angola, because these are the power blocks in that area. Now, on the other hand, it does look like, what's his name? Kagame has the support of some of the Great Lakes countries, like maybe Tanzania, Uganda, and even Kenya. So it's looking like, there's going to be a collision of some sort there, and it doesn't look from all indication, because I listened to the summit that President Ruto convened. I've listened to statements from the South African government. I've listened to that from the president of Angola, and it's just looking like more of rhetoric. Nothing is really moving on ground where the battle is really going on. So my question to you is that, how do you foresee from your experience, what do you think would be the end game? It's like there's a stalemate. So Kagame is not pulling back his guys clearly, and Congo will not tolerate that. So when does this stake? These guys say they're coming to Kinshasa. Congo government say, no, that's impossible. Leave our country or with dialogue or that kind of thing. So it looks like another war is brewing, and it's not for the first time. I've said it, it's historical. There's record that these things have been reoccurring and all that. So what do you think is the end game? Where do you think it will end? And how do you think it should end?
Adi,
Mm.
I'm telling you, this is a serious matter.
It
You
is.
just mentioned
It is.
SADC, Angola,
Mm.
South Africa,
Zimbabwe,
this
South Africa.
Zimbabwe,
Mhm.
this even SADC, these people, this country are not behind anyone. They are African continent. They look for the sake of African continent. They are not behind the DRC Congo. No. If today maybe they're gonna say something to address President Kagame, to pull up, it's just because they need peace. We need peace with the region, we need peace with the continent, and we need peace. Each country we need peace. It's not because they are behind Congo. No, they have found from Congo that Congo is open hand and is ready to discuss, to cooperate, to their dialogue. So maybe that's why they have found it quite difficult to approach President Kagame. Because I can tell you one thing, when I watched the video of President Kagame, he said that when he looked, I don't know if you've seen that, I was very disappointed when the way we say it. He said when he looked some of the African leaders and when he listened to them and when he see them, they look idiot to him. But let's turn that enough in hand. If we will look thing President Kagame is doing now, maybe that idiot is calling this leader, maybe he might call himself, he might turn on him. Because when you decide to host a war against your neighbors, you are idiot. Because he called those leaders, say when you watch them, when you see them, he called idiot. Why? Because he was clashing with South Africa president. But let's go another hand. It's not South Africa president, is not South Africa a member of Commonwealth. It's not Rwanda a member of Commonwealth. It's not Burundi a member of Commonwealth. So they are same family. They are in the same side. The Congolese, maybe you might think, okay, these people, they are in the Commonwealth. Congolese maybe might be alone at the moment. But because they are human beings, they are African, we don't want our continent to face any challenge of war. You know, now there's a war trying to find where, which area or which continent the war had to be escalated. We don't want that to be starting in Africa. And we don't want the Rwanda who claim is genocide to host this. And we know that Rwanda is a claim of the genocide in my country. Why they had to start a war? Why? So that's why SADC, they can, they're not taking African Congolese part. No, they're not. They're not taking or Burundi or South Africa. No, but they are honest. They're in the middle. They want peace. That's what they're looking for. That's why they're trying to push off President Kagame. We know when two people are fighting, they always go to the one who's very upset, the one who's more serious, the one who's killing. At the moment, tell me how many citizens of Rwanda Congolese has killed so far. But in Congo, about 2 million, more than 2 million of our citizens, they have been died by the Rwanda army. And you see on TV, the way all the city people have been displaced, they have moved, left the houses.
Yeah, that was actually going to be the next thing I was going to ask you, that talking of humanitarian issues there, I mean, humanitarian situation, human rights, what actually is the casualty rate now? How's it bad? How many people dead? Do you have figures we can talk about? And what's happening? Is the UN there on ground? People are dying every day. Are people still dying? Is there a ceasefire right now? What's the current situation in that regard?
Well, the current situation that you see when the Security Council and the meeting, it was last week, the way they trying us to push on Rwanda to cessify Rwanda to move in the Congolese territory, cessify, and those people, we don't know the correct condition now because is the Rwanda is the one is on the in Goma, is the Rwanda is the one is take control of the east of Congo at the moment, especially in Goma. He's the one is there. So the MONUSCO peacekeeping, UN peacekeeping has been left. It was there, and you see how some of they leave the east to move it because they don't to protect themselves. And we have so many NGO, international organizations. They used to be in east of Congo. Now they left. They're gone. But the population at the moment is disaster. And we see on TV when the M23 say, "Oh no, we are here. We came to bring peace. Don't hide the Goma." But all this, everyone, all these citizens you see on TV are not the Congolese. Those are the Nyamurenge, some of the Rwanda population. They came there because they know they got possession of the area. So that's why you see the citizens now start moving there, clapping hard to say, "Oh, look at the Congolese, they are happy with the way the M23 are." No, there's not any real Congolese who's there. All the Congolese are moved away, all the Congolese are killed. And the humanitarian situation in the east of Congo at the moment is disaster. Have you seen, I don't know from where you are, but in United Kingdom, even the media, even the government, no one, everyone, the international community, silent. No one is speaking. They're just watching it because they know some of the countries, some of them, they are behind of the scene, behind of the issue.
All right, no, I mean, you made your point. I mean, you're Congolese. You want Rwanda to answer Congolese issue. I mean, the Congolese government don't have issues with Tutsis living in Congo, but
Yes.
Congo clearly is a sovereign country, and Rwanda should stand back. So, just for insight and all that, let me just give our listener, our viewers, some background, about the M23. The M23 is not the only organization, militia fighting or armed group fighting there. I mean, based on some facts I have here, the M23 is one of the dozens of armed groups active in Eastern DRC, where militias have sown chaos for over 3 decades. So, but M23 is the most popular one because, for obvious reasons. I mean, the conflict is a legacy of multi-state wars that played out in Congo after the 1994 Rwandan genocide, in which as many as 1 million, mainly of Tutsi ethnic group, were killed by Hutu extremists. You see the background there. That's why Kagame, being a Tutsi himself too, we have to, has some grounds on this issue. Tutsi rebel led by current Rwandan President Paul Kagame put an end to the killing, and many Tutsi Hutu perpetrators fled across the border into Congo, So because there's also Hutu in Congo too, but that's not the issue now. So the M23 or March 23, that's where the M came from, March 23 movement, refers to the date of an earlier peace agreement the group claimed the Congolese government failed to honor. You see what I'm saying now? That was the date they're claiming that the Congolese government too did not honor any agreement. The rebel group led by Congolese Tutsi commanders formed in 2012 is a successor to an earlier led rebellion. It briefly captured Goma the same year before being driven out. Desperately poor but rich Goma now. We're talking about Goma. Goma is definitely poor but rich in mineral used in electronics and mobile phone. We're talking tantalites and other, those are the stuff you were talking about. Mobile phone. Congo is ethnically diverse. Many militias have origins in specific local government. So after years of lying dormant, the M23 relaunched its rebellion in North Kivu in late 2021, capturing territory, including key border crossing into Uganda. By January 2022, it has mostly surrounded Goma, leaving pockets of government-controlled territory around the city. The conflict ebbed and flowed, with the rebels pushing farther north. This month, that is January 2025, it expanded into the neighboring province of South Kivu. That's a lot of expansion from north to south. It's North Kivu to South Kivu. It completed the encirclement of Goma and began to push inside the city. The rest is history. So the other thing I'm going to say, if I go to my next question, I'm going to say 2 more things. What do the rebels want? That's part of why, because, you've been speaking for Congo. I can't speak for M23 or Uganda. I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's why I'm telling you what they want, right? What do the rebels want? The M23 leader said they are fighting to protect ethnic minorities against a DRC government they accused of fomenting hate speech and discrimination. Another key demand is the return of the Congolese Tutsi refugees many of whom live in Uganda and Rwanda, all the way to Congo. The DRC government, however, considers the M23 a puppet of Rwandan interest. President Felix Tshisekedi has vowed to retake Goma, which is being occupied right now by M23. We will fight and we will triumph, he said in an address to the nation just this last Wednesday. So the region with the large reserve of wealth offers other opportunities to the rebels. Clearly, we know Goma area, South North Kivu is blessed with a lot of minerals, like tantalite that I said, they used for mobile phones here. So with the capture of Goma, the M23 now has access to key border city and a critical mineral smuggling route into Rwanda. A 2024 United Nations report estimated that the rebels smuggled at least 150 metric tons of coltan used in electronics into Rwanda. So now finally, how is Rwanda involved in all this? The explanation I came up with. Rwanda provides material support to the M23, according to several reports by an independent panel of United Nations experts. It has troops in North Kivu, up to 4,000 troops of Rwandan origin, according to the UN panel report. So you are right in that area to say that Rwanda has troops in Kivu. So and the special forces oversees M23. That's the Rwanda Special Forces supervises M23. Drone imagery has captured troops regularly crossing the border into M23 controlled territory for years. So you're right. There's movement in and out of Goma to Rwanda because it's a border city anyway. Rwanda has also deployed high-tech military equipment on the battlefield in North Kivu, including a mobile air defense system and precision-guided munitions. United Nations, including Security Council members such as the United States, France, United Kingdom, agreed that Rwandan forces are operating in Congo. Rwandan government, however, has never publicly admitted to being involved. There's some denials in that regard, but the superpower said they're there. And these are countries some of you say are supporting them. So Rwanda says the conflict has deeper roots that need to be addressed. They claim that militias such as the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, that's the FDLR, a Hutu rebel group. You can see where it's going now. It's not an Hutu Tutsi thing. A Hutu rebel group, which includes some of those responsible for the Rwandan genocide that they pushed into Congo back then, are still active in Eastern Congo. So Rwanda will say that those active Hutu guys they have ambition to come back to Rwanda and take government. So they have to be existent at the border to make sure that doesn't exist, So they said they're still active in Eastern Congo. Rwanda accuses the Congolese army of fighting alongside those Hutus, and an accusation the Congolese government has also denied. So what's at stake now? The humanitarian impacts of the M23 conflict has been enormous. Over 1 million people have been displaced over the years, with hundreds of thousands camping in the dire conditions on the outskirts of Goma, sexual violence, hunger, disease plague, camps, and so on and so forth. So what next? The M23 and the Rwandan troops are moving further into the province of South Kivu now. So that means there's no stalemate. They're moving downwards, claiming more land. So according to local reports on ground, the United Nations and others are concerned that there could be a move on the city of Bukavu, which also lies on the Rwandan border. The DRC government has repeatedly called for international sanctions against Rwanda for backing the M23. So far, Africa and international diplomacy has had very little impact. You understand? So Secretary of State Marco Rubio told the Rwandan President Kagame that the US is deeply troubled by the fighting. So it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
But yeah, you can see, you just mentioned now on the Security Council, you just mentioned the powerful country like France, the United Kingdom, USA, and then, but all these statements you just read now, have you seen anywhere they give support to Congolese people? But you can see even the United Nations acknowledging that the Rwanda army are in Congolese territory. And when you come to say, oh, the Tutsi, the Hutu are there, but M23 is Rwanda. There's not any rebel, is it Rwanda? Because even the President Kagame himself, he mentioned that he asked a question on when he was doing his press conference. He said, people keep saying, why Rwanda is in Congo? Why Rwanda is in Congo? Do you know why Rwanda is in Congo? So he's admitted himself that he's in Congo. Therefore, let's forget about the rebel. But there's not any rebel there. For we believe is Rwanda with army and is President Kagame. He's the one. He's in Congo.
Are the Congolese government scared of Kagame? Are they scared of the Rwandan
No,
army?
no, not at all. We're not scared of Rwanda at all. We're not. But we have used, sometimes if someone trying to show up, I'm strong, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. We had to put the world as the witness. We had to put everyone as witness because there will be a time we're not gonna say anything. Then we had to fight because until now, the Congolese people, government, our president, have not declared official that now we have to fight with Rwanda. Why? Because we're trying to contact as diplomacy, UN, African Union, our neighbors, the world leaders, international community to get involved to let Rwanda to stop. Because we know how important it is in Congo for rest of the world, and you know very well. But if Rwanda continue to attack, to come, then we're not going to let that go. We will respond, and that will be very soon.
Thank you, Tathy Yorka Mpela, World Peace Committee Ambassador, Ambassador of Peace, Goodwill Ambassador of Congo, yeah, the Congo National. You have spoken well, and Tathy made it very clear that Rwanda has to stop what they're doing. Congo is a sovereign country. They are infringing on their territorial integrity, and they just have to go back. And I've read to you the Rwandan aspect of it. They think that Congo Democratic Republic is supporting the Hutu extremists that ran across the border after the genocide was quelled by the RPF led by Kagame
exactly.
at that time. So, but they think that, that if they don't secure their border, and of course, there are other issues like mineral resources, and Kagame, rigid, is hell-bent on holding his ground. He is confident he has a fantastic military. There's no doubt about that. The Congolese, on the other hand, have a lot they have to grapple with internally too.
Yeah, but the Adi, I know you will exactly must say Kagame have the fantastic military, but we know where this is coming from. We know all the support Kagame is getting. But you have to know today what all this geopolitical system manipulation they are doing.
Yeah, but the point is, Congo doesn't want to fight a war with Rwanda. That's not, it's a no-brainer.
No, this is not our intention. And this is why you see we are taking long to respond. And that's why for Rwanda, maybe they think, okay, we are weak, but we're not weak.
Yeah, it does look like that's Kagame's game plan. You understand?
But the
it
thing
thinks
is,
Congo is weak and quite unstable. It's always been unstable.
we have to be, we knowledge our stability. But this stability in the Congo is not for us. We know where this happened. That's why we try to avoid the war to come in the Congo. And this is we give opportunity to the world, to everybody. These people who are behind this conflict, they are looting in Congo. They are taking manual for free. They are taking to go to sort their country.
Will Congo cede that land to Rwanda just to allow peace to prevail? Do you think that can happen? If Kagame refuses to, because in war, when you fight, when you get to the negotiation table, everybody wants to keep the land they've claimed at war. And Rwanda says, okay, they're not leaving North or South Kivu, Goma. Now they're approaching Bukavu, and they want to keep all those places, and okay, we're not fighting again, but we'll keep this land.
No, Ade, I'm telling you, we're not going to let that go.
Okay.
It's not going to happen. If Rwanda have this, President Kagame have this in his mind, that is a mistake he's doing. Because but I want to say one thing. We as African, and I know you have that experience as journalist, and they use us a lot. And all these people. They use African leaders a lot. They use them to work for them, to do bad thing. End of the day, it's like a sweet. When you eat it, when the sweet is finished, they will reject you. So, and the president, like President Kagame, Africa, not just him, but African leaders, they need to learn by the mistake. They need to learn about what happened to all the leaders in Africa. And these people, even President Kagame today, to stand to say, I can fight Congo, I can fight Burundi, I can fight to say that officially, he know he got support behind. But be careful. Be careful when you come to bring something where people they don't have attention to do bad to you. Be careful, because we're not gonna let our territory to be taken away. No, there will be a time we're gonna have a goal.
What's Museveni's role in all this? Let me ask you that.
Yeah,
You were Kaguta Museveni.
Yeah, but Museveni is with Rwanda. Museveni is in Rwanda. That's everyone knows. He's in Rwanda. Yeah,
Kenya is with Rwanda. Tanzania is with Rwanda. You know.
Well, we as Congolese government, we don't look a particular country or who's behind the Rwanda or who is behind Congo. No, we are looking on at our continent to have a peace. We don't want war in Africa continent, because we have a lot to do to sort it for our continent to develop like other continent. Look today, in the 21st century, only African people, they had to come asking asylum seeking in Europe, going away. But look at the condition when we African people come to ask asylum seek in this country. Look at the way they are treating them without dignity. But who can stop this to happen for we as African citizens is our leaders, to have a good set of mind, to have a proper plan for the continent to be developed. Look how many young people have been studying in diasporas, but they lack of opportunity. Look at the job you are doing. Why can't you be in Nigeria or be working for African Union? Why can't you be in SEDEC to promote the value of Africa? Apart you, we know we have so many. We have every young people, African young people, all over the world. But when it came to our African leaders, because they're so greedy, they don't like to give space for the young generation, for them to do this kind of useless things. Look at a country like Congo Brazzaville. We're very close. We speak Lingala. If you go in Congo Brazzaville, you won't believe it. You will think like you're in Congo Kinshasa. But look at the president Congo Brazzaville. How many years are you gonna stick in power?
Denis Sassou Nguesso.
How many years? And do you think in his mind, you think, okay, I want to leave? No. Maybe he want to leave, he give to his son. But Congo Brazzaville is not what's called a kingdom. It's a country.
Yeah, but I mean, Felix Tshisekedi was son of Etienne. He's a beneficiary of his father's political network. And it is not impossible, maybe during the election, that the junior Kabila can still come back and rule too. You understand? Possibly if some of those older Mobutu's children did not die, I think Congolo and some of them, they too will be relevant in Congo.
Okay. No, I do. For you know what, I'll be really disappointed because you are journalist. You have to be in the middle, okay? You have to, your job is there.
No. I'm saying. Yes,
I'm not. Your job is there to defend African. But
I'm doing that.
This concept you just mentioned now, this is selfish. People to have this kind of mindset.
It's terrible. I agree.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
is it terrible?
You said you were talking about Sassou Nguesso in Congo Brazzaville.
Yes.
Most African dictators, when they leave power, they give to their children.
But you mentioned dictator.
Dictator. Yeah. You said Congo Democratic Republic is not like that. So what I said is that Kabila, when he died, his son took over. Now, the current president, that's Felix Tshisekedi, is the son of Etienne Tshisekedi, who was a former prime minister, you understand? So, and I also added that it is not impossible at the next election that Kabila's son might still come back. And I went as far as saying
but the thing is, Kabila's son is not going to come back because we have a constitution in Congo.
Mm.
We have a constitution, the Bible. When
Bible,
the
okay.
Congolese constitution say that you can
Yeah, but don't
only,
let's digress. The bottom line is that the dictators hand over to their children. It has also happened in Congo.
but
That's
it
all I've
need to be
said. Yeah.
stopped. It need to be stopped, Adi.
I agree.
We as African, we
Mm.
can't keep it going living with dictator people
I
on
agree.
the head of
I
the
agree. We have
country.
to go now. I mean, I'm just trying to say it's not just happening in other African countries. It has also happened in Congo. That's what I'm saying. You understand? I mean,
Yeah.
the worst dictator ever known to mankind, arguably the worst, was Mobutu Sese Seko, Kukumbendu Wazabanga. A problem, it's from
Yeah, but
Congo
yeah, but
Democratic Republic.
if you say what is Mobutu, so
Mm.
look how many years Mobutu was in power, and they
30
calculate how
to
many, yeah, and how many years President Congo Brazzaville president has been in power,
Paso. Well,
and how many years even the President Kagame has been in power. You
mm.
look at the election. They just have election in Rwanda. Can you believe it? Someone
Okay.
to be elected 99%. Come on,
Mm.
even on the eye.
I'm not defending. We're saying the same thing. I'm just saying that those things,
Exactly.
yeah, it happens everywhere and it also happens in Congo. Thank you, Tathy Mpela. I mean, you've been a fantastic guest, and I'm sure we'll talk about this again. There's
Yes.
breaking news on Congo there every time, every day, and it's shameful. Like I said when we started this program, there's almost no mineral resource known to man that you don't have in Zaire, called Congo Democratic Republic. That country has never known peace. As a matter of fact, it's the country that colonized Belgium. If you look at a map of Europe, you might not even see Belgium. You know, you
No,
have to
but
stray your.
Adi, I want to mention one thing to make it,
Go
before
ahead.
you go.
Go ahead before go.
When we talk about the resources in the Congo.
Mm-hmm.
The Congo, since President Tshisekedi came in power,
Mm-hmm.
he have opened his hand to call everyone
Oh.
who want to come to invest in the Congo. But we need to do this kind of business cooperation where win-win.
Mm.
You know, the Congo is traveling in the very turbulence where we want to build up the country.
Mm.
Many years ago, Congo have not profited to profit with his resource. People just taking and the population are dying with hunger. But we want to work to see, okay, we are in the 21st century. You have a sugar, I have a bread. All
Mm.
they got milk, and no one got water. Let's
Mm-hmm.
share each other. You give me sugar, I'll give you bread. So I can
Mm.
feed my children, you can feed your children.
Mm.
But there's some people, some countries, some world leaders, they don't want to hate us. They want to take everything for free. So when you take this thing for free, what about Congolese people?
Mm. Thank you, Tathy. Thank you. You've spoken well. You're a
You're
patriot,
welcome.
clearly.
Thank you so
You've
much.
been,
I'm the one. I'll thank you for this great
no,
opportunity.
my
Thank you,
friend.
Adi.
People need
Thank you
to
so much.
hear. People need to hear directly from source, and you have spoken well. We need to have peace. If there's no peace and no stability,
Exactly.
there won't be development and progress. To all our viewers, thank you. It's a wrap there. I'm sure you have a better understanding of what is happening there. Rwanda, Congo, DR, we need peace. Africa needs
Yes,
no war. From
exactly.
Sudan all the way to Nigeria, Senegal, we just need peace. This is the African century. I said,
Virtually,
this is the
exactly.
century Africa has to break this glass ceiling and do extraordinary things. We don't need wars right now. It's a wrap
No.
there. Thank you.
Thank
Tati,
you,
God
Adi.
bless you. God bless Congo. God
Thank
bless
you.
Rwanda.
Thank you
Bye.
for your help. Thank you. Bye.
Anytime, anytime, anytime.